Yo guys, it's me Style Reader Find, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on the push-up. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to progress your push-up if you're finding the push-up difficult, also known as the press up. Yeah, the different ways you can progress your press up and eventually reach that final stage of being able to perform the press up on the ground. Different kinds of variants of the press up, and then taking it further and going beyond, yeah, to extended human heights when it comes to the push up. But anyway, yeah, sometimes you'll hear me say press up or push up, but don't get confused. It's the exact same exercise. So let's begin. Alright, so it's a bit dark, but you'll be able to see me soon. Yeah. If you're first starting off to do the press up or the push up, whatever you want to call it, and you're finding yourself having some kind of difficulty, then the best way to first start doing the push up or to prepare for the actual push up is by using our good friend the wall. Alright? So I'm going to place the camera down here. And what you want to do is you want to place yourself right next to the wall and face the wall. Yeah. Like so. Where you want your hands is roughly shoulder width apart, alright? And you want them to be lined up with your chest muscles. You want your palms to be lined up roughly around the area of your chest muscles, okay? So about here, yeah? When you're doing it on the wall, however, you might want to aim a bit lower, and the reason for that is because when you're doing this, yeah, when you're going down, you notice that your chest muscles, before they're lined up here, but now your chest muscles will be lined up with your hands down here as you're going down. Yeah. And this is exactly what you want to do. You want to have your hands ready, yeah, and just simply take a good step back from the wall, so you're leaning onto the wall already from this is going to be your starting position, leaning on the wall like so, yeah. And all you want to do is just make sure you bend your elbows, okay, and push up. Bend the elbows, push up, yeah. So keep the palms roughly in line with the chest, yeah, and that way you'll start feeling the pressure and the effort in the chest region. And that is the first step when it comes to learning the push-up. Alright? And then once you do about 50 to 100 reps of those without stopping, it shows that you're ready to move on to the next stage. Now, let's continue on to the next stage. Alright guys, so this is going to be stage 2. So you've managed to do about 50 to 100 press-ups against a wall. Okay, so now the next stage is that we're going to be working a bit lower. So that was a vertical surface, but now we're going to be using a heightened horizontal surface to perform our the press-ups on. Okay, so this here is my bedding. You can use any kind of horizontal surface, heightened horizontal surface. It could be a desk or a table, perhaps it could be a windowsill, a couch, a sofa. So the higher that it's going to be in elevation, the easier it will be for you. So at the moment, here's my bedding, yeah, and I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing with a heightened horizontal surface. Okay, so it's going to be the same kind of premise. Yeah, you want your hands on the edge of the horizontal surface. Yeah, and you want to make sure that your back straight and everything. Yeah, and push your feet backwards like so. Let me show you here. So yeah, so everything is in line. Your body is like in a straight line, straightened. Okay, so make sure that you give yourself enough room. Apologies guys, I'm trying my best to do this when I've not really got much room in my house, or in my personal room anyway. Yeah, so now once you get the positioning ready and once you've given yourself enough room, you're ready to start performing push-ups. So hands on the edge like so. Get yourself ready and push up. Once again, you want to make sure that your hands will be lined up with the chest region as you're lowering your body for the push-up. So I'm just position my camera here. Yep. And that is another kind of progression for the push-up. So we worked our way from the wall, and then we worked our way onto a horizontal surface now, the elevated horizontal surface. If you find that this may be a bit too difficult for you currently, then that's perfectly fine. Like I said earlier, if you want it to be made easier for you, excuse me, use a heightened horizontal surface. So maybe my bedding is currently down here and it's a bit closer to the ground, so make it higher. Maybe if you had a table with this kind of elevation, yeah, I've got a table with this a bit that is slightly higher, so it might be easier to perform push-ups for you there. And likewise, that way you want to start adding as many stages as you need. If that's a bit too low, meaning too difficult for you, and then have another stage for yourself which is higher. Yeah, so that maybe your table could be here. Yeah, so use that instead, and that would be a good second stage for you. And if you need to make a third or a fourth stage so that you start becoming more comfortable with the exercise, then that's perfectly fine. Work at your own pace, and then eventually we can move on to the final stage of this progression, which is actually performing the push-up on the ground. Alright guys, so now this is going to be the final stage when it comes to your push-up progression, which is finally being able to perform the push-up on the ground. So once you start getting comfortable on whatever current stage you are on, yeah, when it comes to a heightened horizontal surface, an elevated horizontal surface, once you're able to get about 50 to 100 push-ups, yeah, on that elevated surface, yeah, and then it shows that you're building enough strength to finally work your way lower and lower until your hands are able to perform the push-up on the ground. Yeah, and it's going to be the exact same technique, the exact same premise of making sure that your body is in a straight line. Yeah, and you want your hands to be lined up with the chest muscles. Okay, and don't forget, important thing here, make sure you're bending the elbows. Yeah, no bending of the back. Yeah, and try to keep your body in as straight of a line as possible. And make sure you get that technique correct whilst you're doing your push-up on the wall and your push-up on the heightened horizontal surface. Yeah, because if your technique is going to be incorrect, then it just shows that you're not really going to be benefiting as much as you possibly can be from this exercise. So keep in mind that technique, keeping the body in one line. Don't flex the body. Yeah, the back stays straight. The rear does not come out. Yeah, and you keep everything in a nice straight line. Yeah, and I'll do my best to demonstrate that right now. I'm going to be aiming the camera ahead of me, so it might be a bit difficult to see, but trust me, I'm doing my best within the constraints that I currently have. And there you go, guys. And that is how you are going to progress to finally reach that stage of being able to perform the push-up on the ground. Yeah, so don't cheat the stages. Do what you need to. Okay, make sure you're doing things slowly when you start as well. Understand how the technique feels. Understand what group of muscles are being used. Yeah, you'll be feeling it in the biceps, the chest region, yeah, and also the abs too, since the upper body is being held up quite a bit and you're using that core to keep your body strong. Yeah, keep that core tight for this exercise as well. That's very important. Okay, but these are the kinds of things that you will start to realize the more you do this. Yeah, it may be hard to try and engage the muscles at the very beginning, but this all comes with experience. Yeah, so technique is very important. Yeah, that's it. Well done. You've done your first press ups on the ground, so congratulations. By the time you are able to do like 50 to 100 press ups on the heightened horizontal surface, by the time you reach the ground, you should definitely be able to do about 20 push-ups on the ground already. So good work, man. And then it's time, once you start getting an understanding of the push-up, we can take it even further. Alright guys, so now that you've reached this final stage, this is not at the end, because you want to continuously progress and use your body in different ways. So for this, there are many different kinds of push-up variants that you can try. Once you gain an understanding of the push-up, yeah, and you are confident enough to be able to perform quite a few push-ups, now this is the moment where you can start playing around with it. There are many different kinds of push-up variants that you can try. Some of which that are currently known are as follows. Diamond push-ups. Yeah, push-ups, but instead of elbows out, elbows in. Keep your elbows next to your body, next to your sides. Okay. Another kind of push-up variant, keep making your hands staggered, putting one hand in front of the other, yeah, and moving your hands about instead of keeping it in line with the chest. For example, I believe this is called the crocodile push-up. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing is maybe your feet are on the ground. So what you can do when doing the push-up, you can start moving your feet around as well. Feet in or leg in. Yeah, leg raised. Okay, so there's all different ways you can play around with it. Also, it doesn't have, the push-up does not have to be on your palms. You can try doing push-ups on your knuckles. These two knuckles right here. This is an exercise I did a lot when training martial arts. And we did it on a hard floor. And we would do so many push-ups that my knuckles would always be bleeding. Every single class. Alright, so there's many different kinds of variants that you can try, yeah? So experiment, you can also look them up online, but don't just be content with doing the normal push-up. Try all of these different kinds of push-ups and understand the extent of your body and try to take it as far as you possibly can. Yeah, make sure to do it slowly, control yourself because you don't want to risk any injury, and yeah, push-up variants. But don't think it's over just yet. We're going to take it even further than this. Alright guys, this is the final stage. So, before we were talking about push-up variants. Now you come a long way once you've reached this stage, honestly. From push-ups on the wall to a heightened horizontal surface. Yeah, to doing the push-up on the ground properly now. And then to be able to comfortably perform different variants of the push-up. Yeah, it's not easy. But we can take it even further to make it harder for ourselves, okay? So there are the normal ways of making it harder, for example, adding weights to your body and stuff like that. But we're not going to do that. I'm talking about making it harder the natural way, without having to use weights at the moment. Yes, you can add weights, but let's go above and beyond. So this time, instead of having our upper bodies elevated, like how we began on the wall, instead, what we want to do is, we want to start elevating our lower bodies now, as we do the push-up, yeah? And you'll come to realize that the higher that your legs go up as you're doing the push-up, the more difficult it starts to become. And this is the next way of progressing yourself. So here's going to be an example. So it's like we're doing the reverse of what we were doing previously. So here we are, I'm at my bed again. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put both my feet on the bed and I'm going to keep my hands on the ground. You will notice that there's a lot more weight which is being transitioned to the upper body. Your upper body is taking much more of the weight by doing things this way. And you're also using different kinds of muscle groups now, including the shoulders, to help hold up your body. So this is already improving yourself in a different kind of way. And we're going to take it even further. So we've elevated our legs using the elevated horizontal surface, but eventually what we want to work towards is this. Okay guys, so here we are, we're back to the wall again, but we're going to be using the wall in a much different way. Yeah, like I said before, the more we elevate our lower bodies, the harder the push-up starts to become. So eventually, what we want to work towards is this. You are going to put your feet against the wall, and then from there, start doing push-ups, like so. Alright, there you have it, guys. Wall assisted handstand push-ups. Yeah, thank you guys very much for joining me. Yeah, I tried my best. I'm breathing quite a bit. I tried to do as many, I'll get as much in as I can in this one video. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that it's helpful. One thing is that when practicing these different kinds of push-up variants, if you're not comfortable with practicing the push-up variants on the floor just yet, what you can do is always come back to the wall. Okay, so you may be comfortable doing normal press-ups on the wall, but you may not be comfortable doing knuckle press-ups on the wall just yet, and that's perfectly fine. So do your normal push-ups on the ground, yeah, and then return back to the wall and start doing knuckle push-ups, yeah, on the wall, or your diamond push-ups, or any kind of push-up variant on the wall. And eventually, while also doing your leg elevated push-ups, or your lower body elevated push-ups, yeah, you can start doing different variants of push-ups with your legs elevated as well. So the same kind of thing, like diamond elevate, diamond leg elevated push-ups, for example. Yeah, well, you won't be able to see it from this angle. Yeah, diamond leg elevated push-ups. Yeah. And mix and match too, we got the push, clap. Yeah, with the leg elevation. And hopefully you'll be able to do all that kind of stuff with the handstand, wall assisted handstand push-ups. Okay, so once again, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully this helps you guys improve with your press up progression. Yeah, take care guys, see you lot next time.